What's up YouTube? This is GalacticGod and I'm coming at you today with a video to talk about the Elemental Hero archetype. Now, with heroes recently coming in first place over at the OCG Nationals, it's kind of revitalized a lot of people's interest in this archetype. But not only that, it's got a lot of people talking about what it needs to be competitive over here in the TCG. And for me personally, it comes down to really two things that could actually make this deck competitive here once again. Number one, of course, is that they need Elemental Hero Stratos back. If nothing else, the OCG has proven that if they have Stratos by their side, heroes can be definitely a top tier type of deck. But more than that, by looking at the deck list of the person who came in first place, we clearly see the changes that need to be made to our list in order for Stratos to come back. Cards like Reinforcement of the Army being limited to 1, or Elemental Hero Bubble Man being semi-limited. These type of changes to our list are definitely ones that I could get behind if it means that we could actually get Stratos back. Now on the flip side of things, I guess this does prove that Konami's assumptions were correct for banning Stratos. That if he wasn't placed on the forbidden list, heroes could definitely be a top tier contender deck here in the TCG. But that kind of vindication is a little bittersweet, because even though Stratos might push the deck to tier 1 kind of status, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Because having another option for a tier 1 type of deck, especially one that could be available to budget players, is not something that's bad in my book. For me, I've always loved formats where there's at least 3 or 4 or 5 different type of decks that one could play and still be competitive. Now, I know there are those out there who like the 1 or 2 deck type of formats because they feel it's very skillful, but my personal opinion is that they get very boring very fast, and that's why I love having a diversity amongst the meta. Now, I do think there is an alternative to making heroes more of a top tier type of deck without bringing Stratos back. But in order to do that, Konami would have to release a new support card, more to the point, an archetype specific type of super polymerization just for heroes. It wasn't until Shaddolls were released that people started really taking a look at Super Poly and just how broken it was. People thought it was more or less kind of balanced in heroes. Maybe not balanced, that's not really the right word, but it was acceptable. It allowed heroes to definitely keep up with a lot of the other decks that were top tier. So maybe if heroes got like a TCG exclusive card, something that was like super polymerization, like that spell speed type of 4 type of card that allowed you to go ahead and fusion summon a monster from your opponent's side of the field and a hero from your side of the field to make an Elemental Hero fusion monster only, I think that might be something that would allow heroes to catapult themselves back to the top of the meta. But in any event, in my opinion, if they just bring Stratos back to us here in the TCG, heroes could definitely be a top tier deck once again. So down in the comment section below, remember, let me know your guys' thoughts on this subject. Do you think it's time that Elemental Hero Stratos came off of the forbidden list here in the TCG? Or do you think he should stay on and maybe we should get some kind of archetype specific card for heroes that will allow them to once again reach the very heights of the meta? And I guess that's it for now. This is GalacticGod, out.